I'm married, you're not. So I know how to find a partner and you don't.
That's why I know what you're saying. No offense, brother. You're a flat earther about to recognize that the earth is round, bro.
No, you're wrong.
What you're saying is...
I think men just need to step up.
No, but I agree women are more picky.
I just think the men are weak. If a man can't find a wife, he's weak, period.
That's kind of my point.
It's not only... It's not all this other dumb crap. It's not the Dubai trips. It's if you're a man that can't find a woman, it's rather you're not making enough money. Yeah. You're not taking care of yourself. You're too scared to go talk to women. Yeah. It's not the woman's fault. That's my point.
You could get a girl if you just...
You could get a girl if you actually tried. It's not... There's not a... Oh, the one Wichita cocktail waitress moved to Los Angeles. That's not the problem.
And I think there's a lot of men out there that cannot get a woman even if they tried.
I disagree.
Even if they tried?
Even if they tried. The data would pretty much support what I said.
How do you analyze that they try?
You are about to be massively disillusioned.
No, you're going to be disappointed.
When you see how outrageous the standards that women have for average guys right now, you're going to be massively disappointed. Again,
women should have high standards. I'm married, you're not. So I know how to find a partner and you don't.
That's why I know what you're saying. No offense, brother. You're a flat earther about to recognize that the earth is round, bro.
No, you're wrong.
What you're saying is
wrong.
You are saying two things that cannot be true at the same time. What? They cannot say the average guy, if he just tries, gets a woman, and then at the same time say women should have higher standards. But I agree with you that women should have higher standards. Yes. The issue that I'm saying is the idea that the average man can just go out and find a woman right now is hokum. But it is not true at all. The problem is if I produce data that shows that 63% of men are the age of 30, again, but that's your only argument. Your only argument is to not believe peer-reviewed data.
No,
that's the only argument.
Just the reality of the situation.
I think what you're trying to say, though, is that average men should just become above average.
Exactly.
That's fine. But mathematically, what happens then? What happens to the average?
The average goes up.
The average goes up, and then women's standards then also go up. That's what we've already seen for the last 40 years.
But I think maybe above average men can go down.
I think maybe
it cancels out.
Any man that works out at least 3 times a week.
I do think for a fact above average people do go down. They lose wealth. They
that happens too. Yeah.
So I think it ends up averaging. I don't think it's that the thing goes up. I think it's people just trade places.
I think my whole case is average man, if he worked out, made more money, went to church, would find a wife. Easy.
Because you're not average at that point. You're becoming above average, making more money, being in shape, having faith. I think, to Brian's point, I think an average guy can still obviously get a girl.
For sure, he can, but he does have to level up like you said before. The original point was the average guy is just going to go out there and not be horrifically rejected by the majority of women he encounters. You are about to be massively disillusioned. The way women are treating men now it's not a high standards anymore.
Women, or are we talking about these old?
I'm talking about the average woman. I'm talking about below average looking women who are not on OnlyFans. I'm talking about all of them, because they're still exposed to social media. The social media is the problem that is deriving the standards that people have. That's where a lot of this is coming.
You know what?
My problem with all these internet guys that criticize women is
none of them are married.
None of them are married. Yeah. None of them have no signs of success in relationships at all. Yeah, so all they do is because they sleep around and then get young 20-year-olds to listen to them. They think they're so smart. That's like the red pill crap. It's so dumb.
Yeah, Rollo's been married for 29 years. There's Rollo Tomasi. He's the guy who wrote the original book that created the red pill, The Rational Male. There's several guys that are in relationships there. I understand what you're saying about specifically Andrew Tate or
all these guys.
Or Justin Waller is also married. He's been married for a while, and I think he's had his 3rd kid just recently. It's not that. You just talk about the average guy, and the average guy makes $61,000 a year.
That's fine. What's wrong with $61,000 a year?
So one more time, because remember we're recording this. You want to say that the average guy who makes $61,000 a year is going to go out and find a wife by going out and not improve. He can't improve.
Yes.
And he's going to go out
$61,000 a year,
and he's just going to go out there and find a woman who wants to be with him. Is that correct?
Yes.
Got it. We got that on camera. Yeah.
He has to stay average.
I'm saying they got to get better.
Done.
Yeah, but then he's not average.
It's not a money problem. It's not a $61,000 a year. It's not the problem.
If you ask women, that is the number one problem.
What if he's a really good-looking guy who makes $61,000?
That's a bubble.
What about a good-looking guy?
Whoa, time out. Hold. Can we get this on camera too? The idea that women want men who make more than $61,000, he said, is a bubble. He thinks that most women don't feel that way. Is that correct? You think that's a bubble?
I think most women want a man that's going to respect them, take care of them.
It makes $61,000 a year.
If he checks all the other boxes,
I think you're only thinking about a Christian. I don't think you're thinking about normal girls.
I think what you're saying is ridiculous, man. No offense. Let's say one thing for certain. You're not disagreeing with me. You're disagreeing with data. Let's just make sure.
No, disagreeing with the data. I'm going to start using that too.
Nothing.
The data.
Nothing that I'm saying is based in my opinion. Nothing I'm saying is based in my opinion.
My question was, what if they're good looking and only make $60K a year? Well, how do those guys fare?
They do well, but they don't have like a lot of access. So I have a lot of clients that are multimillionaires and they're like, I work a lot.
I already know a rich guy who's ugly is going to fare better than that guy, probably.
Well, I mean, that's very astute. That is correct. Yeah, looks don't matter as much for men as they do for women. When you look at that whole situation, what we find is I have a lot of clients that come to me who are very, very, they're in shape, they're wealthy, they're very successful. But what happens is when they communicate with women, the women that they're communicating with, wherever they meet them, if they meet them at a bar, if they meet them at the gym, if they meet them any place, frequently, I probably about a third of my requests that I get for leads, they say, I'm looking for a good Christian woman to have a long-term relationship with.
A third are asking that?
About a third are asking that. And they're still not finding it.